Imagine living under the same royal institution for nearly 1,000 years. Through brutal wars, bloody rebellions, political scandals, world-changing empires, and modern democracies, one symbol has remained at the heart of Britain: the crown. But how did a single family build a monarchy that survived when so many others disappeared? What secrets lie behind the glittering crowns, magnificent palaces, and centuries-old traditions? Behind the royal ceremonies are stories of ambition, betrayal, courage, sacrifice, and power that shaped not only Britain but the modern world. In this documentary, we'll travel from the Norman conquest to the age of King Charles III, uncovering the rise of legendary kings and queens, dramatic palace intrigues, historic battles, and the remarkable evolution of the British monarchy. Whether admired or criticized, the crown continues to fascinate millions across the globe. This is the incredible story of the British monarchy. 1,000 years of power, glory, and secrets. Let's begin. The story of the British monarchy begins more than 1,000 years ago, when England was divided into several kingdoms ruled by powerful Anglo-Saxon kings. In 1066, everything changed. William, Duke of Normandy, crossed the English Channel and defeated King Harold II at the Battle of Hastings. His victory marked the beginning of Norman rule and transformed England forever. William the Conqueror introduced a new system of government, built mighty stone castles, and ordered the creation of the Domesday Book, one of the most detailed records of medieval England. His reign laid the foundations for the monarchy that still exists today. Over the following centuries, the crown became the center of political power. Kings claimed authority by the will of God, and loyalty to the monarch was considered a sacred duty. Yet ruling England was never easy. Rebellions, invasions, and rival nobles constantly threatened the throne. One of the most important turning points came during the reign of King John. In 1215, rebellious barons forced him to accept the Magna Carta, a historic document that limited the king's absolute power. Although John never intended to follow its rules, the Magna Carta became a symbol of justice and the idea that even a king must obey the law. The Plantagenet dynasty brought both greatness and conflict. Kings such as Edward I expanded English influence, while Edward III claimed the French throne, beginning the 100 Years' War. The conflict lasted for more than a century and produced legendary heroes, including Joan of Arc on the French side. Although England ultimately lost most of its French territories, the war shaped the nation's identity and strengthened the monarchy. The late Middle Ages were marked by civil war. Rival branches of the royal family fought for the throne in a brutal struggle known as the Wars of the Roses. The House of Lancaster battled the House of York for decades, leaving England exhausted. In 1485, Henry Tudor defeated King Richard III at the Battle of Bosworth Field and became King Henry VII. His victory ended the conflict and established the Tudor dynasty, one of the most famous royal families in history. The Tudors transformed England. Henry VII restored stability and strengthened the monarchy. His son, Henry VIII, became one of history's most controversial kings. Originally a loyal Catholic, Henry desperately wanted a male heir. When the Pope refused to annul his marriage, Henry broke away from the Roman Catholic Church and created the Church of England, making himself its supreme head. This decision permanently changed England's religious and political landscape. Henry VIII married 6 times, and his personal life became legendary. 2 of his wives, Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard, were executed. His children would each leave their own mark on history. Edward VI ruled briefly before his early death. Mary I attempted to restore Catholicism and became known as Bloody Mary because of the persecution of Protestants. Finally, Elizabeth I ascended the throne and ushered in one of England's greatest golden ages. Elizabeth had ruled for 44 years. Under her leadership, England defeated the mighty Spanish Armada in 1588, proving itself a major European power. Exploration flourished as sailors such as Sir Francis Drake sailed across the globe. The arts also reached extraordinary heights during the Elizabethan age, with William Shakespeare producing many of his greatest plays. Elizabeth never married, earning the nickname the Virgin Queen. Her death in 1603 ended the Tudor dynasty. The throne then passed to the House of Stuart. James I united the crowns of England and Scotland under one monarch, laying the foundations for the future United Kingdom. However, tensions between the monarchy and Parliament continued to grow. His son, Charles I, believed firmly in the divine right of kings, but Parliament challenged his authority. The disagreement eventually erupted into the English Civil War. The Civil War divided the nation. Royalists supported the king, while parliamentarians fought under Oliver Cromwell. After years of conflict, Charles I was captured, tried for treason, and publicly executed in 1649. It was an extraordinary moment in history. For the first time, an English king was executed by his own people. England briefly became a republic known as the Commonwealth under Cromwell. After Cromwell's death, the monarchy returned with Charles II in 1660. The restoration brought renewed interest in the arts, science, and culture, yet political tensions remained. In 1688, the Glorious Revolution peacefully removed King James II from the throne. William III and Mary II accepted the English Bill of Rights, which permanently limited the powers of the monarchy and strengthened Parliament. This event shaped the constitutional monarchy that continues today. The 18th century saw the arrival of the Hanoverian dynasty. Kings such as George I and George II relied increasingly on ministers, allowing Parliament to become more influential. During the reign of George III, Britain experienced enormous changes. The American colonies declared independence in 1776, leading to the American Revolutionary War. Although Britain lost the colonies, it continued expanding its influence across the globe. The Industrial Revolution transformed Britain into the world's leading industrial nation. Factories, railways, and technological innovations reshaped society. During the 19th century, Queen Victoria ascended the throne in 1837 and ruled for 63 years. Her reign became known as the Victorian era, one of the most remarkable periods in British history. Under Queen Victoria, the British Empire expanded across Asia, Africa, North America, and the Pacific. At its height, it governed nearly 1/4 of the world's population. Britain became the dominant global power, leading international trade, industry, and naval strength. Victoria herself became a symbol of stability, family values, and imperial prestige. Her descendants married into royal families across Europe, earning her the title Grandmother of Europe. The 20th century brought new challenges. Two devastating world wars tested the monarchy's resilience. During the First World War, anti-German feeling forced King George V to change the royal family's name from Saxe-Coburg and Gotha to the House of Windsor. This name remains in use today. The Second World War further strengthened the monarchy's connection with the British people. King George VI refused to leave London despite heavy bombing during the Blitz. Alongside Queen Elizabeth, later known as the Queen Mother, he inspired millions through courage and determination. Their daughter, Princess Elizabeth, even served in the Auxiliary Territorial Service during the war. In 1952, Elizabeth II became queen at just 25 years old. Her reign would become the longest in British history. Over 7 decades, she witnessed enormous global change. The British Empire gradually transformed into the Commonwealth of Nations, a voluntary association of independent countries. Britain modernized rapidly, and the monarchy adapted to changing public expectations. Queen Elizabeth II remained dedicated to public service throughout her reign. She met presidents, prime ministers, popes, and world leaders from every continent. Her annual Christmas broadcasts became a cherished tradition, offering hope during difficult times. Millions admired her unwavering sense of duty. However, modern royal life was not without controversy. Public attention intensified with the marriage of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer. Diana's kindness and humanitarian work made her one of the world's most beloved figures. Their troubled marriage, eventual divorce, and Diana's tragic death in 1997 deeply affected the monarchy. The royal family faced criticism but gradually regained public trust through reforms and greater openness. The 21st century introduced a new generation of royals. Princes William and Harry became internationally recognized figures. Royal weddings attracted billions of viewers worldwide, demonstrating the monarchy's enduring global appeal. At the same time, debates about the monarchy's future, public funding, and its role in a modern democracy continued to grow. In 2022, after the death of Queen Elizabeth II, King Charles III ascended the throne. Having waited longer than any previous heir, Charles inherited both centuries of tradition and the responsibility of leading the monarchy into a new era. His reign emphasizes environmental conservation, sustainability, and community service while preserving the ancient customs that define the crown. Today, the British monarchy functions as a constitutional monarchy. The sovereign serves as the ceremonial head of state, while elected governments exercise political power. The monarch formally opens parliament, appoints the prime minister, grants royal assent to legislation, and represents Britain during state occasions. Although these duties are largely ceremonial, they symbolize national continuity and unity. Royal traditions continue to fascinate millions. Ceremonies such as the state opening of Parliament, trooping the color, royal weddings, coronations, and changing of the guard attract visitors from around the world. Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, and the Tower of London remain powerful symbols of British history and heritage. Supporters argue that the monarchy provides stability, preserves tradition, promotes tourism, and strengthens Britain's international image. Critics question its cost, inherited privilege, and relevance in a democratic society. Yet despite these debates, the British monarchy remains one of the world's most recognized and enduring institutions. From medieval castles and armored knights to televised coronations and global diplomacy, the British crown has survived invasions, revolutions, civil wars, political reforms, and dramatic social change. Few institutions have adapted so successfully across so many centuries. The British monarchy is more than a royal family. It is a living link between the past and the present, a symbol that has evolved alongside the nation itself. Whether viewed with admiration, curiosity, or criticism, its remarkable journey continues to shape Britain's identity and capture the imagination of people across the world. The story of the British monarchy is far from over. For more than 1,000 years, it has survived wars, revolutions, political change, and the rise and fall of empires. From medieval castles to the modern world, the crown has remained one of history's most enduring symbols of power, tradition, and national identity. Whether you admire the monarchy or question its role in today's society, there's no denying its extraordinary impact on Britain and the world. As history continues to unfold, new chapters will be written, but the legacy of the British crown will remain a fascinating part of human civilization. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next journey into history. Share your thoughts in the comments. Which British monarch do you think changed history the most? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of Legends of History.